from the lighter side of pest control. This is the Tales from the Crawl Space podcast with your hosts, Jack and Brad.
Hey y'all, I'm standing in the middle of the road letting y'all know that this is the Tales from the Crawl Space just trucking around episode. Because what better way to, make an intro than to put my actual life in danger.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever the fuck you're listening to this. And I hope everybody's just trucking along out there. I am, of course, your host, Brad Harvey. Welcome once again to Tales from the Crawl Space podcast. And with me across the miles and across the smiles is the one and only Jack Starry. Jack, how you doing, buddy?
Hey there, hi there, ho there. How are you, sir?
Life can be. Hey, I'm doing fine. Good. I am getting ready to get back to work. I'm finally, today is my last day of being on medical leave for my myriad of problems ranging from my knee to my gallbladder. And I am so ready to get back to work. It's crazy. I mean,
it is your last day of being sedentary.
That's right. Being a sedentary fairy. So yeah, I am, So starting, Monday, I'm going to be back and I'm going to hit the ground running with a very lovely termite pre-treatment. And, so I'm real excited about it. And
good.
I don't think anybody is more excited than my beautiful bride, Ellen, who is sick of me hanging around the house.
Get you out of the fucking house.
Like shoving me out of the way when she needs something and everything. It's like, I feel like my only duty is to stand in front of the cabinet that she needs something out of.
That's how it works. Yeah, that's how it works. That woman is a saint, putting up with you for that one.
Yes. You look in the dictionary under long suffering. There's a picture of her staring at me, wanting me to move out of the way.
No, if you look at the dictionary under long penis, then there's, bust my face. I got that shit in the first 2 minutes too.
Yeah,
like that.
Man. It did take you long at all tonight. You chomping at the bit. Yeah,
just had to whip out the penis.
Oh yeah, Jack and I were on the Pest Perspectives podcast, which is also airing tonight on Pest Control Humor Depot, my favorite group, and on YouTube and on LinkedIn and every other place that they have podcasts. Kind of like us, only they're British and we're not. But no, Sean is awesome. It was Jack and I had a great time on the show. Just talking stuff, cause if Jack and I have a favorite subject that we'd love to talk about, it is ourselves.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, look, Tyler made it to the chat. How you doing, Tyler?
Tyler, what's going on, my man? I got to bring my chat box up.
Yeah, what the hell, man? You're slipping.
I'm just like, good Lord. There he is, Tyler. I made it. You sure the hell did. All right. Yeah. Once again, here we are live. You guys can come on, get on YouTube and look for us. Look for our channel, Tales from the Crawl Space 2.0 and, join the chat, man. We're here. Let's talk.
Damn right. And what we're talking about this evening is just trucking around your service vehicles, whether it was a piece of shit, the best fucking truck you had, problems you had on the road when they handed you a shit box to drive around in. You name it. We got all kinds of stories about them, and some of them are really fucking good. And we have we have a lengthy You Can Suck It for the end of the evening as well.
But for this week, we're calling it You Can Truck It.
You can truck it.
You can truck it. That's so great. Looks like, I'm sorry to hear that, man. You would have loved listening to Dr. Nina Nina.
Nina
Jenkins. Yep.
Oh shit. Yeah. She's an awesome lady. I'm sorry you missed her.
Love to have her on again. That's for sure. And, she's down to clown too. I got to finally meet her in person at the Purdue conference this year. And, she's a genuine article. I'm telling you, she's great. So,
she's a sweetheart. Yeah. She really is. So,
the presentation that she's giving about apprehend and the biological, bedbug treatments is one that you got to check out. Sometime it's very informative, very eye opening. And it's just, for anyone that hasn't used it or hasn't heard of apprehend, definitely take a look at it. It's Apprehend, APREHEND, only one P in that, .com. Check it out. I mean, it's a game changer.
Brought to you by Nina Nina.
Nina Nina, that's right. Dr. Nina Nina Jenkins of the Video Tech. But anyway, let's talk some trucks. Got a couple of really good stories, and I'm gonna go ahead and start it off. Jonathan Horn brought us a great story. He goes, we had a guy fired for jerking the gherkin in his truck during a company Zoom meeting. During a company Zoom meeting within 200 feet of a customer's house. Oh, holy shit! Wow, that's got to be some desperate need right there to get that code. And then he goes, me and another tech got sent to pick up the truck. It stayed at his house, so he had to clean it. LOL. It was completely full of cigarettes and blunt roaches. We have cameras in the trucks too. He just didn't give a fuck.
God,
man, jerking the gherkin. I love that term. It's like polishing the
He's
dishes.
jerking with jerking with jerkins.
Spanking the bad puppy. But
waxing the dolphin.
Oh my God. You know what? Yeah, there are some seriously horrible trucks out there. And it's not bad enough. You got cigarettes, you got soda pop cans and bottles, you got half-eaten sandwiches. You got, what, spooge now? Now, yeah, we have to deal with spooge in the trucks now? What the fuck?
That's one thing I never considered in my truck would be load. In my truck. No.
There's just some dried concentrate that happened to get in the cab of the truck. I was trying to open that goddamn seal on the fucking fast cap. It's like
yeah, that's what it was. That's exactly what it was, wasn't it?
No, you're having seances in your truck. It's ectoplasm.
It's testicle plasm.
Testoplasm.
Testoplasm.
But oh my God. Yeah, I being in management, I had to deal with a lot of people's trucks that, were just so fucking unsafe.
Oh yeah.
And here's the killer though. It's like you would do your regular inspection and you'd be like, okay, this looks good. 2 weeks later, they're either giving their notice or they're firing them and stuff. You go back in, it's like a freaking disaster area.
It's like a rolling dumpster.
Yeah, it's like, how did you get 3/4 of an inch of gunk on your seats in a month's time? I don't get it. Yeah, but
that's a lot of load. That's a whole lot of load.
A whole lot of load.
That guy was cranking it out.
Yeah, you need cooling, baby. A whole lot of load.
Baby, I'm not fooling. I don't know. I liked what we were singing Roxanne yesterday.
Oh, that was great. Yeah. Sean was having technical difficulties during the podcast, Pest Perspectives. So we had a little bit of downtime, and Jack and I decided to break into to Roxanne from the Police. And it was a majestic moment. I'm telling you.
It was wonderful.
I'm sorry you guys wouldn't have been able to hear it. Hello, Mario. Welcome to the
Mario.
show. Yeah,
our buddy Mario. That's awesome.
Does he have the story?
Oh yes, he most certainly does. Mario, since you were here,
let's stroke his ego by telling it now.
All right, Mr. Mario, here you go. He goes, what's up, Jack? Here's my truck story. Here in Brazil, we don't have the habit of using big trucks like you do up there. When I started in pest control back in 2001 in Rio de Janeiro, my work vehicle was a 1994 Volkswagen, and I hope I'm saying this right, Saviero, a pickup version of a car that you in the U.S. and Canada knew in the late 80s as the Volkswagen Fox sedan. The car still had a carburetor, no power steering, manual windows, manual transmission, no ABS, and no air conditioning. Imagine that in a city with constantly congested traffic and summer temperatures that easily reach 100 degrees Fahrenheit. I always had to carry a towel and a clean spare shirt because it got so hot that sweat would literally drip down my elbows while driving. Every time the car needed parts, it was a problem because carbureted cars were already becoming uncommon. Once I even had to buy a part for the carburetor from a junkyard in another state. But those were the good times. I was just starting out working with amazing people who were still my friends to this day.
Aww. that's touching.
That's awesome.
That's touching. I love it. Well, good. Well, thanks again for the story, Mario. There's nothing. We always love hearing you. And by golly, don't forget that international episode will be coming up soon. So
yeah.
Hopefully
mark your calendar.
Can be another part of it, man. You are my brother, and I can't wait to talk to you again.
Shit, yeah.
Yeah.
Always a good time with Mario.
But, you know, sometimes you get a truck and you get it. It's in great shape and everything. And then over the period of time, it just starts breaking down on you. And it's always those little things, you know, it's the stuff that it doesn't create a driving hazard or anything like that. It's the stuff that just annoys the shit out of you. You know, back when I was, you know, when I first started back in the Stone Age, crank windows and hygiene. And stuff like that. But, you know, the handle would fall off, right? So you'd have to keep track of the damn thing so you could find it just to roll the window down, up or down. And then all of a sudden it would be lost. You go on vacation, somebody use your truck, you come back, you can't find the crank anywhere. And you're just fuming. You just want to take a fucking fist and just open the damn window that way. You know, the radio doesn't work anymore. Only one of the speakers work. Management isn't going to spend the money on that stuff, getting that shit fixed. It's the stuff that brings comfort to your day, but zero fucks are given from management to get that shit addressed. When I was working at Economics Labrador Retriever, I had a specialist who had a service vehicle that had one speaker out, and this was a guy that was totally into music, and he drove me batshit about that speaker jack to the point where I fucking fixed it myself. You know, it's like I'm popping that damn panel off, and I was like, motherfucker, shut. His name was JT, by the way.
I gotta tell you, the worst thing is, the absolute worst thing is when you have to give your truck up for a while and switch trucks temporarily, because once you've got everything exactly the way you like it, you know, it's your truck, you're comfortable in it, you got all your shit set up, and no, you gotta switch out, and I fucking hate that, especially if someone else is driving my truck for whatever reason. Couldn't fucking stand it. Get the fuck out of my truck. It's my truck. I have it the way I like it. But then you get things breaking down like, you know, a bad speaker, like a blown speaker, and it's rattling, and that just drives you crazy. You get a door panel that's banging around. But I had the perfect truck when I started out with Schmerlick. I had a Chevy 3100 heavy duty. With the Redding box on the back, the big tall Redding box on the back, had two 100-gallon tanks on it, sat side by side, big long rectangle thing, two 100-gallon tanks. Had the Honda 5.5 horsepower, and if you do termite work, you know that's the shit right there.
I got
your Honda 5.5.
Yeah, and I love it. It's the GM 3800 of Honda.
Oh. They're badass. And I had a electric motor as well with only two levers I'd need to pull. If I ran out of gas or the engine crapped out, which it never did. But if it did, I could just pull two levers and plug in and finish the termite job with this electric motor. And they had the high pro pumps on each one. Yeah. So, you know, the roller pumps, fucking love that thing. That was the best truck. Yeah. It was a stick. Yeah. And what you kind of needed when you're driving with that much liquid in the back of the truck, you need to downshift. You can't just rely on your brakes because it'll carry you right through the intersection.
You got to get the transmission involved in that stoppage. For sure. Otherwise, you're gonna be rolling. And my favorite truck. Pardon my coughing. I don't know what the fuck's going on tonight, but my favorite truck was actually, believe it or not, when I was at the Scarlet Letter. It was a 2011, something like that. A Chevy Colorado. Now this was before they completely ruined the Colorado body by trying to make it into a fucking car, right?
Right.
Yeah, it had the drop down console. It had really decent seats. It was smaller. It was boxy. You know, it was a boxy type of thing. But that sucker sat low to the ground, and you could freaking haul some ass in that thing. And It was beautiful. From if you're just running basic pest control services, not termite out of it or anything like that, because you can't, because it's a Colorado. It was the best truck I ever had, and I drove the shit out of that. And I fought to keep it when they said they wanted to get rid of it. I fought so hard. I even offered to buy it. I mean, it had 160,000 miles on it. It was run down. It was dirty. The body was in great shape. Decals were faded, but who gives a fuck? It even had
You're describing me.
No,
run down, dirty body in great shape.
It had the orange spot right on the other seat, where the headrest is at, where you're eating Cheetos on your route, and you put your hand there, and over a period of time, the cheese builds up on the.
It stains.
It stains, and it gets real slick. And then when it's humid out, it gets sticky, and you're just like, oh man. It's like you want to just take a razor blade and just scrape it off, and you're craving some cheese. But it was. It was that truck. It was. The cushions were perfectly shaped to my ass because it had been in it for so many years. I love that truck, Jack.
I had a favorite bar that I used to go sit in this one booth. It was perfectly shaped to my ass, so I can totally relate to that. Scotty says TGIF cheese bags, and just because he's here, I got Scotty's story here for the show. So we are serving it up for our guests in the chat. Back in the 1980s, our company was going through a growth spurt. Speaking of load, we were desperate for employees, so perhaps we should have taken more time to vet new hires, but we didn't. We ended up hiring an experienced guy, a friend of a friend kind of thing. I was doing my ride along for the first week, checking him out. Red flags are waving left and right. The biggest one being when one day he told me that he had back pain problem and he needed to stop to get his medicine. Red flag. So we pull into a methadone clinic. Major red flag. So at the end of the day, I shared this story with my father. Now, I was in my early 20s, so I knew what was what. Mr. Father, on the other hand, didn't quite get the gravity of the situation and wrote it off after a heated conversation. So the next week rolls around and the new guy tells us that his car was broken down and asked if he could take the service truck home. The old man, clearly colorblind, didn't see the red flag waving either and gave him permission. Fast forward to the next Saturday morning. The old man gets a phone call. He was told that the night before there was a big brawl at some dive bar and one of our trucks was seen leaving the scene in a hurry, driven by the guy who started the fight. Well, the old man finally sees the light and calls me to go with him to retrieve our truck. I didn't tell him I told you so. I didn't have to. So we got to this guy's house, and there sits our truck, right front fender wearing a fresh new dent. We knock on the guy's door. No answer, naturally. I'd brought the spare set of keys, and we went to get into the service truck. Much to my surprise, for whatever reason that to this day I wish I knew why, the fire extinguisher that was kept behind the seat was completely discharged inside the cab of the truck. White powder everywhere, and I mean everywhere. I called my father over to take a look. He was shocked and then asked me, "Is that cocaine?" Dumbfounded, I looked at him. Well, if it is, I'm taking the next week off. It was the 1980s after all.
That's true, yeah.
That's awesome, Scotty.
It is, man.
Fucking
Thanks
awesome.
a lot. That's great. Oh man, I remember my very first truck. It was a 1980 something, late 80s Dodge Dakota. Yeah, and this dude, it had no radio, it had no air conditioning, it had no power brakes, no power steering. It was basic as fuck. But I didn't mind that truck at all. As a matter of fact, flash forward many, many years, I had a chance to buy a 1994 Dakota, and I just jumped up on it for my home ride. And I love that truck. It's great. It's the last of the shit kickers. It's the old box style. It's smaller, right. And that little truck like a Dakota, and that was back when the Dakotas were about the same size as the old Colorados and stuff. But this dude still mine has the 318 V8 engine in it, and they think it's squirrely. It gets squirrely as fuck, and I just enjoy riding it. And I'm not a big country dude, but damn it, I feel redneck as fuck when I drive that. And all I'm thinking about is having my best girl over to the side, feet on the dash, and just rolling down, listening to shit kicker music.
Well, I'll tell you, whoever decided to take bench seats out of pickup trucks didn't have a girlfriend.
No, I don't think so. I think they were designed by priests or something. Or the Amish, the Amish bed where they got the board in between.
Oh, power! Rodney's here.
Uh-oh.
Rodney showed up.
Hey. Mr. Badass himself.
If it was designed by Priest, it would have a candy bar holder and a booster seat for the Ultra Boy.
You had to go there. Damn it was my turn. It was my turn to go there. But no, yeah. I mean, when you got a pickup truck, you want your girl scooting up. It's kind of
sliding over next to you,
sidling up to you. That's right. Keeping your beer warm between her legs while you're driving.
Well, it makes roadhead so much easier.
Yeah,
she can just lay over and put her head in your lap. So I mean, because the console, I mean, women have to get on their hands and knees and go over top of the console to get their.
Best you could hope for the console is just a kiss. Really, I mean,
just smooching on the top.
Yeah. Oh, right, he's up there. Fun old Dodge trucks with the headlight dimmer by the clutch. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that's old. Yeah,
the little push button dimmers.
Little metal button in there. You just push with your foot. Yeah, those were cool.
Jenny came in with a last minute truck story here.
Right.
She goes, with my previous Donnie and Marie company, I had to change vehicles so many times for repairs, for this, for that. Every single time they gave me a vehicle, it was filthy. Floorboard Friday times 100. I think 2 years I had to clean out 9 vehicles for myself. And then when I got a team leader title, then they had me clean out all my new hires trucks before they got them.
Mm-hmm.
I was the truck cleaning bitch. Should have told them to go soak.
Yeah.
God, I would hate that. Having to clean everybody's fucking nasty ass truck. Disgusting.
That always seems to be. They had a title for that wherever I worked. It was service manager, because every time I was a fucking service manager, I was the one that had to do it. And I need you let's get the truck ready for the new guy. And you get the truck ready for the new guy. New guy gets in, and he's in there 2 weeks, and it's just as bad as it was.
Well, with big green tea, I'll be like, here's your truck. Make sure you clean it out before you get it set up.
Yeah.
Have fun.
I mean, let's face it. We are all aware that the truck is the mobile office of the technician. And,
it is.
And things are going to get, you're going to get things dirty. You're going to get stuff, but fuck's sake, at least once every 6 weeks, clean it,
Yeah.
And
yeah.
So, my God. And, it always seems to fall on the service manager to do it. And usually, you could, if you're lucky, you can get somebody with a decent, I'll get that cleaned out before I leave. Give their notice and everything. And they actually do a pretty fair job of it. I think that happened once in the 34 years I've been in the business. But yeah,
I'd always worried they were going to dock my check if I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
So I always worried about them cutting into my check if I didn't do it.
Yeah, we never did that. So whatever. Fuck it. Why would they have to bother with it? Because they had me to clean them up.
I was working for this one company that didn't have trucks. They had Prius, Toyota Prius. And first of all, getting my ass in, I look like a monkey fucking a football. And you're shoving 10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag. But it broke so many laws because you're supposed to have your chemical completely in a separate compartment than the passenger compartment. But no, they had me just throw it in the back of a Prius. So, but I was working in Arlington, Virginia, which is right outside DC, older neighborhoods, skinny roads, little tight spaces and everything. So that was cool. And only have to fill it up once a week. That was cool too.
True.
So getting around town was awesome, but yeah, I always worried about if I got in a rear end accident, I'd have both my legs broken at the kneecaps because fitting my big ass in something like that, I just about had to Crisco myself to get myself in it.
Yeah. Fucking Prius. Damn.
But I tell you, when you start running out of gas, and it has that dynamic braking, so as you hit the brakes, it helps charge the battery.
Yeah.
So, like, I'd be on the way home, going up the mountain and coming down the other side. I'd just kind of like lightly sit on the brakes going down the mountain and just watch the battery thing. It's like I'm charging it up so I can get that fucker home. We're going to manage one way or the other. Big Green Tea, their trucks, what do they call them things? The anteaters? What were they? The aardvarks. Okay. Yeah. I don't know why I can't get that name right. I keep seeing. But those things were, I mean, that little calculation thing for the tomato side of the back.
What's they call it? The pendulum or something like that?
Seemed to be more trouble than it's worth.
Oh, it was, yeah. They ended up pulling all those things out and retrofitting them, so they just ran mixture.
Good.
Yeah. We had to figure it out how to do it ourselves, on a couple of units there. And it wasn't fun. And, it was probably, I would probably say it was the most ridiculous setup and over-engineered shit I ever saw in my life. Especially with the advent of, with Termidor and everything. And they built these specifically to deliver Termidor. It was just so fucked up. I mean, now with Termidor HE, you can do twice the work half the time or half the volume, and it's a beautiful thing now. I can fill up I can do a good sized ranch house and not even use a full 100 gallons. It's great. So, I mean, it's just not needed. And, which is great because where I'm working now at Trio, we got some pretty old equipment. We got an old termite rig. And, matter of fact, the pump finally went out on one of them. And so I needed to replace it. And that was when William the Merciful was dealing with his leg issue. So I'm calling Oldham Chemical, because that's where, the rig came from. And the fellow on the phone said, yeah, you got the number off the unit. And I rattled off. He's looking around and he goes, woo. It's like, that's an old one. And it was like, what was it, like 2011 or something like that? Some shit. It was a pretty old unit, but dude, I'm telling you, it held up nice. I mean, I think that was,
the older ones usually did.
That was the first time that roller pump is a high pro that ever needed replaced. I found it was leaking right out of the shaft, and so they've got that little weep hole right there where at the end of the housing. So I just found the nearest twig and crammed it up there to keep it from leaking. Right. Got the job done. And, went back and told Bill about it. So then we put it on mothballs until we could get it fixed. And, it took a little while because I ordered the pump, not thinking, it's like, okay, it's just the pump we need. So I didn't take the housing off of the, where the couplers is and stuff. Only find out that rubber piece that's in the middle was completely gone. This thing,
the little spider gear.
That damn gear, that coupler had just ate itself to death. And
so you were metal on metal.
Metal on metal. That's right. It's like when your knee, you lose all the gristle in your knee and you're bone on bone.
Oh, I know that.
Yeah, I know that too well. And, so that's where, it's just the same thing. So I had to sit and wait for that to come in. But I finally ended up getting to the point where it's like, damn it, I grabbed the truck. I brought it to my house, backed it into my garage and took care of it there. One thing, I could get it done in complete seclusion and, just, by myself, get it done. And I got to drink beer while I was doing it. It's win-win. So, I had that thing up and running in no time. It was beautiful. And that's not even my favorite rig. My favorite rig was the one that's on the other truck. And because that dude starts for me every damn time I want it to start. And, with the exception of, I went back for a little while to visit people, to visit the office, and sure as shit, whoever driving the truck was having trouble starting it. I was like, it's because I wasn't in there. So, he eventually got it started.
But. Sean showed up. Hey, Sean.
What's up, Sean?
I got to tell you, the termite rig that I hated worse than the ones they had at Big Green Tea was when I worked for, I'll call them Eastern, Pest Control, which is a subsidiary of Schmalin's. They had the injection rig where you didn't have a tank and you got the big, huge, gigantic, like the 2.5 gallon Termidor, and you hooked it up with this little siphon hose in it, and then you rolled a hose out and hooked it up to the water source on site, and it mixed it in line as the water was coming through, and you had to adjust these dials to get the proper mix ratio. And that was, I mean, that was the termite rig, was this injection thing. I guess that's what you call it. It was just, and the fucker get clogged up. It was this contrived piece of bullshit.
I don't care. I'm just thinking, what could possibly go wrong with this? You know, it just seems so strange. I just feel like you could have chemical backing up into somebody's water, hose, for whatever reason. I don't know. That just seems a little sketchy.
Well, you had to get one of those, the end of the hose that went connected to their hose thing. We had the one-way valve on it, the little anti-backflow.
Uh-huh.
So I had the anti-backflow in there. But when I got the truck, no one had taken care of the damn thing or cleaned it. So the siphon line had a bunch of crud inside of it because, if you let that Termidor sit, it'll get all thick on you.
Oh, yeah.
So I didn't have near enough going up the tube that it was supposed to. So I was getting not the right amount for applying termiticide. I fucking hated that thing, man. I was like, just give me a goddamn rig. Give me 100-gallon tank. Let me go out and do a real termite job. Yeah. This thing's a piece of shit. And it was right at the back of the van. You open the two back doors. It was right there. Uh-huh. And I had more down time than I did applying termiticide, having to fix that thing and fuck with it. And Jesus. Hated it. Hated it.
So, excuse me. So, Jack.
Yes, sir.
You going to ask me what I'm drinking tonight?
What are you drinking tonight?
I'm glad you asked. had a visitor today, Mod Squad member, and the book of the Mod Squad, the one and only Dan Bird, stopped in for a visit to me today, and brought me something really interesting. This is called Redbreast Single Pot Still Irish Whiskey. And this one in particular is made, it's the Missouri Oak edition, and it's finished in casks of American oaks sourced from the Ozark forests of Missouri. And I'm telling you, this is really good stuff. I mean, it's got a lot of good notes of things like nutmeg and cinnamon and rich berry fruits and vanilla cream. And berries and cream. Hercules. But Dan, man, I appreciate this. This is awesome stuff. And
nice.
I'm drinking it to your health today. So, and of course I'm washing it down with a little bit of water. And, also a little something in my one and only Tony Spangler tumbler, Jack. I know you don't have one with you. You're on location in PA. In Pennsylvania, and so I'll do it. Let me do the display, and you can do the voice.
Ladies and gentlemen, take a look at this beautiful Tony Spangler tumbler with Paula Benedict right on the side there. Those beautiful colors, those crisp graphics, and at the bottom you get to rubber bottom. Look at that. Double wall steel keeps the hot things hot and the cold things cold. With a beautiful cap to keep things from spilling going down the road, fits in every single cup holder possible. So wonderful. And they also come with a stainless steel, surgical quality urethral sounding rod.
That's right, Jack. Look at that baby right there. Look how sleek and aerodynamic it is. See how the light shimmers off of it. Shimmers like the Nile, and the edges of it are so sharp that no scar tissue can resist being cut away with one of these. And
it's also bent on the other side for Peyronie's disease.
Yes, for priapism and Peyronie's, you've got it covered. It is everything you need in that. And it also, when you're done with that, it helps get your drink out of the tumbler as well.
That's right. I mean, you can leave it in and turn your penis into a t-shirt launcher.
That's
I mean, you want to get a load going. Talk about skeet. You can actually get a big old load out. That's just like, it's like double-barreled testicular launching with that thing.
Thingamajig. Let's also talk about the different designs you can get from that with Tony Spangler at SpanglerArt.com. We have we have the beautiful the Tales from the Crawl Space commemorative tumbler, featuring not only that, the PCHD, my favorite group, and also some of the most handsomest studs.
Look at that sexy motherfucker.
Handsomest studs you'll ever.
Oh, look at that sexy motherfucker.
That's right. There are two sexy motherfuckers on there, and a tumbler, and a tumbler, and you could rub
the rubber bottoms. Rubber bottom.
Unless of course, in Canada you can. You can lick the bottom too.
Hey, it's. I saw a meme today when you speaking of that. That on dating apps, people look at how attractive someone's face is to decide if they want to stick their tongue in their butt.
Oh, really?
Oh, it's true. I mean, it's a donut, but you gotta be pretty in the face to stick your tongue in the stinky place.
Nice. So if you're looking for something that's going to keep your beverages in safe, snug, and secure while also dealing with that nasty scar tissue, there's only one place you need to go.
If you got Peronis, reach for Tony. Steal urethral sounding rods.
All right.
That gave me the piss shivers.
Oh, I bet it did. Gave you the Shanghai shivers. Oh man, that's a great ad for Tony's. Jack, why don't you tell him a little bit about who worked that up for us?
Oh, the jingle. Mr. JT Story, my boy, my best buddy, will do voiceovers, jingles, songs, and other things. So if you got a podcast or something you need a spot for, an intro, what have you, get a hold of me, Jack at tftc.wtf, or get a hold of me on Facebook Messenger, Jack Story, and I will get you in touch with him and we can get something made for you. He's done the Pastorgen intro. He's done for some other shows as well. So, he does a fantastic job. He does all of Tales from the Crawl Space intros.
Yeah, he is the man. And I really love the one today. This one. He did a great job on that one.
Yeah. He has fun with them.
Oh, he does. I know he does. And, it definitely shows. He loves what he does and he does what he loves. So that's great.
That is correct.
Anyway, so
Big Green Tea. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Start with your Big Green Tea shit.
Big Green Tea. When I was a service manager, I got called out late one Saturday night. I've told the story before because I'm a one-trick pony. But this guy was driving drunk in his Big Green Tea truck, hit the curb, and the front end of the truck hopped up and came down on top of a fire hydrant, and it shoved the engine out of the engine compartment. So when I got there, got past the cops and everything, I see this truck impaled. It was one of the Ford Rangers, the regular technician ones. Mm-hmm. And it was sitting there, hazards going, surprisingly, red fire hydrant sticking out of the center, and the engine sitting next to it on the sidewalk. Fired the dude on the spot, obviously.
Obviously, yeah, sure. God damn, man, that's all there is. Oh man, yeah, it's funny. Big Green Tea seems to be full of these funny truck stories. I was, we were having one of them worked on. I think we were getting tires replaced on it. This was so long ago, I don't remember. Took it to Firestone. They put it on the lift. I dropped the vehicle off, went back to the office. Me and the tech went back to the office. I put him in another truck, sent him on his way. And then I get a call. Mr. Harvey, this is so-and-so from blah, 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 Firestone. We got a problem over here. I said, what's going on? He goes, well, it might be best if you just come back to the shop. I was like, fuck.
Uh-oh.
Okay. So I get to the shop and he goes, let's go into the garage. I go into the garage. The truck, okay, went up on the lift, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The bed wasn't supported and it had a full termite rig in it.
Oh,
fucking thing.
bent the frame and everything.
Tail was down this way. The rest of it's up this way. I looked at it. I gasped. I did that thing where you pinch that part of your nose, the very top of it,
You just
where
gotta,
the eyes right there.
oh my
and then
God.
You sit there and shake your head a little bit and you look up and you just want to try to think something positive about this, but you can't. The only thing you can come up with is, I'm surprised it stayed up on the fucking lift. I think that thing would be like, wow, coming down on something.
Yeah.
But,
Jesus.
I said, you gonna get it down? How you gonna get it down from there? He goes, we're just gonna drop it. So they dropped the fucking truck is like sitting like this, and I was like,
God.
Oh my God. Yeah. So new frame, new truck basically. Yeah. They just completely fucked it all up. And, then
that's total.
Tried to blame it on us for having the excess weight. I said, nope. I said, you guys got full lifts on there. You also have instructions in the notes of our account that these things are to be lifted up, have full support under them. I said, so you can't put this on us. So Firestone bought us a new truck.
They better. Shit. I mean, I've seen some stupid shit on lifts, like people didn't know what they were doing and put it like on the body panel and everything. And as soon as they start lifting it up, you see the body panel start bending and shit.
Yeah. That's great. Yeah. A lot of the times we don't even need technicians to fuck the trucks up. We got mechanics to do it for us, Let's see the loose oil fill plug or the loose oil filter.
Oh
my
God.
Yeah, or the oil drain plug or, just anything. The lug nuts that didn't get torqued down, the lug nuts that got torqued down too tight, mufflers not being hung and, just hanging there off the pipes. It's just a myriad of things that they just completely fucked up. But
sometimes it's like you said, it's not the truck, it's the mechanic or whatever. I had a technician called me. He was on the road and he goes, Jack, I can't get the truck to go over like 40 mile an hour. I push the gas as far as it'll go and it won't go very fast. I'm thinking it's a brand new fucking truck. I just picked it up last month. Turns out, the way he gets in and out of the truck, he shoved the floor mat up under the gas pedal. So the gas pedal would only go so far. And he couldn't figure out. I was like, oh, come on, man.
I mean, I figured it out, but I didn't like call management to try to say something wrong with the truck. I figured it out, but still, it's still maddening because you're just like, the first thing in your mind is, there's something wrong with this truck. And it's like, not fucking floor mat. So I'm a guy that I pull my floor mats out. It does wreak havoc on the floorboards, but better safe than sorry. I mean, it sticks, one day it might stick under the accelerator. The next day it might stick under the brake pedal. So
I always got the really thin, cheap, black rubber ones for like $15 at Walmart because they were too thin to obscure anything.
Yeah.
But you could at least get the crud out of the floorboard with it.
Yeah.
You just kind of have to pick it up in like a U shape and like dump it out. But, because the carpet ones, man, first of all, they're going to get funky. Yeah. They're going to get funky as shit. So, and they're thick as hell. So I'd just get the cheap flat, rubber black ones that you get for like $10, $15 at Walmart.
Yep.
The rubber bottom.
But William the Merciful always gets the, when he gets a truck, when he buys a truck, he buys a really nice fucking truck, we get, but that truck stays with William the Merciful forever, and then, after a while it becomes a not so cool truck, it's rusting out and everything, but it's getting the job done. When it's paid off, it's making him money. That's what it's all about. But he does buy those one custom Ford something techs. I can't remember the name of them. But
WeatherTech,
yeah. And, those are great because they do, man. They just go right.
I've got those in my truck. Yeah, they are nice.
They're good, thick, sturdy plastic, and I really like those. And they clean back up nice. So
they do. They really do.
So you can have this nice, pristine looking floor mat where you've got, the carpeted areas all full of, bubble gum and dust and,
load.
Yeah, load. Some of that stuff will pick out, some won't. But
we call those California potato chips. When they get all crusty, you gotta flake them off. That's California potato chips.
Oh, there you go. California potato chips. Delicious.
Straight out from our painters to you.
God.
Yummy.
So I have had, untold amounts of trucks, and the worst truck that you can ever, the worst truck that you can ever get is the used one in July and August. The smell of technician that permeates from some of these trucks, the sweat, the ass, the
swass.
That's right. And I'm telling you what. Yeah, that's right, Jen. That Paula is only one of 3. Tony Spangler tumblers at SpanglerArt.com. No, you cannot order this.
Spiegel, Chicago 60609.
And the thing with I have a really sensitive schnoz, and it's bad enough that I have to go through and I have to smell nasty houses, dead rodents, tin can meatloaves, things like that.
Oh yeah,
I'm sorry,
yummy.
loaves. And to get into a truck, and it's just like, and you turn on the air conditioner and roll the windows down, but the air conditioner's been set on recirculation since the guy got the truck, and you're just like, oh God, I see, like even the cabin filter reeks of swass.
It's like the cabin filter's been like teabagged, sweaty teabagged, and all you get
is like they take it out under the dash and then stick it back in their pants and then like rub it down a little bit, and stick it back under the dash. It's disgusting.
Right.
But you know what? Ours probably smells like that as well, but we don't notice it because it's our own brand.
Yeah,
it's like kind of like a furt that way, but Jack. And I was saying, Scrub Lord 64 says, I had to deal with that technician smell when I started the company I work for. Took me so long to get that smell out. You're not wrong, man. Sometimes it's just an exercise in futility. No amount of, you're even breaking out the rat sword. I have
nil odor tap and dry.
Yep.
I love that shit.
We also, at the Scarlet Letter, we used to sell the air, have the air fresheners, machines, and they were the old type with these are the old types with it's like a D-cell battery on a little motor and a little fan that's blowing in the box.
Oh, yeah.
You got the little can of stuff that you pop open like a soda.
Almost like a sterno can.
And the cardboard in there. Yeah. And people, and cherry was the worst, man. People would open the fucking cherry ones in there and they would just take it, just kind of sprinkle it around in the floorboards, and you get in there and it smelled like cherry swass.
You get a urinal mint, put it under the seat. And that you get that citrus urinal mint smell.
Oh yeah, citrus. Now, I'm sorry, everything it smells like that plus swass. There is no getting around it. The only thing that you can do to get around it is like Scrub Lord says, either you get used to it and you don't smell it anymore. But for a while, man, it's on your fucking clothes. It's like, oh, it's disgusting. And,
especially if it's cloth seats, because cloth seats just absorbs all down into the foam. Get the fucking vinyl seats. At least you can kind of wipe those off, and it's plausible deniability that you didn't soak your ass juice into the seat.
Yep. Vinyl or pleatherette.
Yeah, but there's so much crust and thick. Like there's parts of that seat that'll actually crack or crinkle when you sit in it for the cloth ones because they've absorbed spilled coffee, vomit or sweat, everything. It's just disgusting.
Yeah. Scotty, so we park our trucks inside every once in a while. Someone will forget about the bag of dead rats in the bed of their truck. Always over a weekend.
Oh, of course, yeah. And it just sits and festers. It festers.
It does. It's disgusting. And I just, oh my God. Yeah, I had one technician. I looked everywhere for it where I would think that he maybe had a bag or something like that, a dead mouse in a bag or whatever. I couldn't find it. It turned out it was in the bottom of his toolbox. One of the places I wasn't thinking to look. I just figured he had it trapped. He threw back in the bag or something. No, it was in there for a minute. I called him up too. I was like, dude, you know, tell him about it. He goes, yeah, I kind of forgot about that. Sorry, man.
Now, I can deal with the smell of, man. I can deal with the smell of dead shit, but I tell you that Essentia IC3, that all natural rose oil, whatever that bullshit is, that shit will fester in the back of a hot truck during the summer. And you open up the back of the truck and it hits you like someone just swung a baseball bat as soon as you open the door.
Yep.
I mean, the first time you smell it, it's nice. It's a fresh smell. But once it sits and just kind of everything, you can't escape it. And it gets stuck in your nose and you can taste it. It's fucking disgusting.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Your hat reeks of it. Your shirt reeks of it. Your everything just reeks. I mean, it's pretty bad when you're just like, you know, you're out, you got your sleeves rolled up, you're checking stations or something. You go like this, like, oh God, it smells like my fucking truck. You know? It's horrid. And,
that stuff ain't worth a shit either. So they had us use them for mosquito services. Yeah. And it's a joke.
And we talk about like dead rodents and shit like that. I'm sorry, dead lunch is even worse.
Bologna and mayonnaise.
Bologna and mayonnaise. That's right. You know, that was, you know, it's usually okay if it's like a fast food burger or something like that because they contain such little water that they can stay, they're preserved forever.
Right.
Yeah. So that's really not too much. But when you get something homegrown that you're in there. Okay. Oh, speaking of that, Jack, you're going to love this. I've been on medical leave with my leg, since January, right? You know, today is my last day on medical leave. I'm trying to get my shit together to pack so I'll be ready, locked and loaded to pack my lunch and everything. I open up my lunch box and I have a science project going over. The whole thing on the inside is just covered in a grayish brown mold, right? I had left a clementine in that I did not eat, and I left it in that thing, and it just shriveled up, and just mold went everywhere. And I'm
like a dark green tennis ball,
you know, because it's like I got to open that thing up. I was like, oh my God! So I'm like, I'm gonna have to go out. It's not even time to put my garden hose outside yet. I may actually have to go do that. Put my garden hose out, take the hose to the thing, or buy a new lunchbox. I think I'm going to buy a new lunchbox because that one was free. It was given to me by my daughter. That she got it as a award from where she works, and she's like, I don't like to pack a lunch, so I was using it, and so I may just get a new lunchbox.
I have an old 1970s metal Kiss lunchbox I can send to
Kiss? You. I had Dukes of Hazzard and $6 Million Man.
I had the Dukes of Hazzard one as well. I did. Mario said we use ozone generators to get rid of random smells 45 minutes after vacuum cleaning and the smell is gone. Ozone generators do work. I know like for when they go do apartments and like the new person moves in, they run them things all day. And I think it takes all the funk and like makes it heavy and it drops to the ground. They vacuum it up and you can vacuum up the funk. That thing would have to work overtime on my truck because all the farting I do, my coffee farts.
You know, I go off on other people about the smell of their trucks, but mine has to be hideous because I'm fat, I sweat, you know, and you know, I'm just as bad as everybody else. But like I said, you never notice it because it's your own brand.
I get moist. I get
really
moist.
Yeah, you get all moist. Oh man.
No, I sweat like a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs, man. I'll get out doing a termite job and it's from my nipples down and like my belt is soaked. I had a old leather belt, which I think had more sweat DNA in it. You could probably make a whole nother me out of that belt.
Yeah.
I mean, I just absolutely soaked. It was a Christmas gift from Abercrombie and Fitch.
Ooh.
And it was my work belt and it was my work belt when I used to install carpet too. So, oh my God, that thing was just absolutely saturated with me. So
I sweat like a blind male stripper at a ladies club wiener roast. So I know what you're talking
about. We have a You Can Truck It.
We do have a You Can Truck It, by golly. And
now I have,
if you could just keep doing a lead up on it, I'll actually find it.
No, that's one. And I have another one too that I haven't read yet.
Okay.
So, but yeah, we definitely got to get the one that you're talking about. That's best fucking insult ever. We have to.
It is hilarious.
We got to read that one.
Yeah. So who wants to go first here, Jack?
You go ahead and do that one. And
Okay.
then this last one will be new to both of us because I haven't read it.
I will kind of spill the candy a little bit. This insult is so good. I don't think I've got something to top it. So
No,
anyway,
I know.
so here we go. Dave Lyon. Thank you very much for this. My first day at Rent-A-Kill, they gave me my first vehicle. They gave me my vehicle. It was absolutely filthy. The entire interior was somehow sticky yet covered with an inch of cigarette ash at the same time. The toolbox not only did not lock it, but also didn't latch, so I had to use a bungee cord to keep it closed. Drove it after a few months after I made them clean it, and they refused to drive it until they fixed the toolboxes. They ended up giving me a new ute, but wrote me up a month later for having my lunch rubbish on the floor that I ate that day.
Oh my God.
Fuck them. I hope they develop taste buds in their assholes.
Taste buds in your asshole.
How can you top that?
You can't. That stands alone as an exemplary insult.
That even tops my asparagus insult. I'm sorry. I was so proud of that one, and now I have nothing. Thanks, Dave Lyon. I hope you get taste buds in your asshole.
We love you, Dave. Thank you for that.
Oh my God.
Now this one is anonymous. Customer came from a company, and I haven't read this at all. Neither of us is new for both of us. Customer came from a company we bought and got baseboard sprays. Cool, no problem. It's on your agreement. We'll honor it. Apparently, customer pressure washes his home, cleans and moves furniture every 2 months so we can treat effectively. Wants 48-hour notice. We only call the day before, but we tried to accommodate this customer. This was brought to my attention when I was out speaking to his neighbor about her issues, and he walked into her home to bombard me about it. I said, cool, I'm the service manager. When I get back to the office, I'll call you and get your next service set up. 2 hours goes back, I call him, and he proceeded to cuss me out that I'm not giving him enough notice and not letting me talk. GM calls, customers all happy-go-lucky that the service was completed, saw that he was due today, back on the 17th. GM calls, leaves him a voicemail that he's due on the 21st, and we would be out. My great tech texted him, said he would be out. Customer sends my tech a shitty response. I called the customer. He proceeded to cuss and scream at me for 10 minutes. I sat quietly. I finally get a chance. I said, yeah. Looking at our call history, you were called 317 at 12:36 and that we would be out 321. And if that didn't work, let us know. He proceeded to lose his fucking mind on me. And as a redhead, I was ready to let the motherfucker have it. Mm-hmm. But I ended the call when he called me a bitch. Let's just say he no longer has an account and he can fucking suck it.
He can suck it. Again, I got nothing. Thanks, Dave.
I hope you wake up and your testicles are on your feet. So the first thing you do is get your feet off the side of the bed and step right on your own fucking nuts.
Yeah.
That's what I hope.
Oh, damn.
I hope that your kidney stones get lodged in the end of your penis. So every time you piss all over your fucking feet. That's what I hope.
Damn. Oh, crap. That's hilarious.
You can suck it.
Yeah.
Oh, Brandon showed up. Hey, Brandon.
Aha, taste buds. Yeah, I gotta love it.
Taste buds in your butthole.
Yeah, that's right.
That tastes like shit, man. I gotta tell you, we had Rodney in here earlier. Rodney and Russell were guests on last week's Pestrogen podcast, and they did a great damn job on that show.
They did.
And I gotta tell you, the dream team of Jenny and Candace has been a fantastic fucking show.
Yeah.
And I look forward to it. They record every Sunday, and it usually drops Monday morning.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah. So be sure to listen to that one.
Most definitely.
Absolutely.
And check out Pest Perspectives podcast. Mm-hmm. Sean Muller. We were on this last episode that just dropped today. All of his episodes are quality. He's a great guy, got a great show, and we were tickled as hell to be on their show as well. It was fantastic.
I had a great time with him, Jack, and whether or not he had a great time is no indifference. Matter of complete indifference to me. He had, but I'm sure he did. And also, be sure to check out, if you're into such things, the License to Kill server on Discord. They always have a lot of great educational podcasts on there. And so definitely, License to Kill. Let's give them a check out. And who knows, you may learn something. I don't know.
Yeah, you don't come here to learn nothing.
That's right. So, you come here for edgy.
And edgy and taste buds in your butthole.
Edgy and taste buds in your butthole. That's right. So, yeah. So, Jack, what are we doing next week?
That's a good damn question. We're going to fly by the seat of our pants again, I think.
I think we will. It worked pretty well for us this week, didn't it?
That's what we usually do anyways.
Yeah,
wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah, we don't overthink shit around here at Tales from the Crawl Space. Believe me.
No, we're due up for a wildlife episode.
We are due up for a wildlife episode. Of course, we got the international episode. We got all this other lovely stuff. So yeah, let's we'll think about it and let you know what we come up with, I guess.
Yep, we'll pull something out of our ass between now and next Friday.
Exactly. So everybody, thanks again for listening. Everybody that dropped in on the chat, man, we really love having you on here. So,
that's great.
Let's get together again and chat up some more. So, on behalf of Pest Control Humor Depot, my favorite group, SpanglerArt.com, License to Kill on the Discord server, Pestrogen, and Pest Perspectives, Jack and I ask you cordially to bug the fuck off.
Bug off.
Y'all come back now. You hear?
Oh, thanks for listening to Tales from the Crawl Space podcast. Jack and Brad will be back next week with another great episode. TFTC can be found on almost every podcast provider available, and you can also find us on TikTok at TFTC 2.0, Instagram at TFTC Podcast, Facebook at the Pest Control Humor Depot Group, and our website, www.tftc.wtf. Don't forget to subscribe and share. See you soon.